Well, that escalated quickly. Danny Jacobs just knocked out Peter Quillin in one round, or stopped him. Jacobs started the fight as most of us expected him to start it. He was moving around, circling the ring, and I think most of us expected him to fight the whole fight in that particular fashion. Peter Quillin was the guy on the front foot trying to initiate the action, looking far more aggressive, and in doing so, he left himself defensively vulnerable. Danny Jacobs was able to come over the top of Peter Quillin's lazy left hand with a beautiful, explosive right hand to the side of Peter Quillin's head, and Quillin's legs buckled. He retreated to the ropes, and Danny Jacobs unleashed a pretty ferocious assault on him, which lasted quite a while, and a lot of unanswered punches were going in. He managed to crack Quillin again with another short right hand, this time high on the temple, and Quillin staggered, nearly went down, staggered drunkenly to his feet. The referee kind of second guessed for a second, but he looked at him, looked at the state of Quillin and the fact that he was seriously disorientated, and he decided to wave it off. Some people are going to be upset with that stoppage. I've certainly seen worse stoppages than that, but was that stoppage premature? Given the fact that it was a world title fight, I don't know. If you look at fights back in the days, obviously, you go back to the 90s, Nigel Benn against Gerald McClellan. Nigel Benn was probably in an even worse state than that against McClellan, and the referee allowed it to continue. That was a world title fight. Obviously, it ended up very tragic for McClellan, but Nigel Benn in the first round was all over the place. I guess you have to look at the history of the fighters. Nigel Benn had a history of coming back from being hurt, so maybe that ref gave him the benefit of the doubt back then. And obviously boxing was different back then than it is now. Fights were allowed to go on far longer than they tend to be today. Quillin was undefeated going into the fight, never lost. He'd been down. I can't remember how many times Quillin's been down. I know he was obviously knocked down against Andy Lee, although it wasn't the heaviest knockdown in the world. So I don't know. I'm in two minds about the stoppage. Let me know how you feel about that particular stoppage. Was it a decent stoppage? Was it a bad stoppage? Do you want to see a rematch? Do you think the stoppage was bad enough to warrant a rematch? Let me know how you feel in the comment section below. When they asked Danny Jacobs, he said, yeah, I'll be open for a rematch if that's what my management team want. And if they want it next, we'll do the rematch. But when they asked Peter Quillin if he wants the rematch, Quillin said, oh, I need to go sit down and have a think about it and all this. I've always felt that Peter Quillin was hiding something. I've always felt this. And what I mean by that is, whenever he's in the ring fighting, he's got this look of anxiousness on his face, and his movements are all jittery, and he just never looks relaxed in the ring to me, Peter Quillin. It's like his eyes are popping out of his head like Chris Tucker most of the time when he's fighting. And I always wondered why that was. Is it because he's always feared taking a solid punch? Has he always maybe been worried about his own punch resistance? I don't know. Maybe this is the kind of thing that he feared happening if he did get cracked clean. Because that's the most assertive I've seen Peter Quillin come out for a fight in a long time. Normally he's a lot more jittery and careful than that, particularly early on in the fight. But on this occasion he was very assertive, and he got caught because of it. Danny Jacobs was very sharp and capitalized on Quillin's mistakes. It's a good performance by Jacobs, obviously. He took Peter Quillin out, although Quillin really hasn't fought at that high a level throughout most of his career. He had the fight with Andy Lee, but other than that, who did he fight? Hassan Mjikum, and who else? Gabe Rosado. I mean, he ain't been fighting A-level fighters, let's be real. But still, take nothing away from Jacobs. He's come back from cancer, you know, at a young age, and recovered from that, got his boxing career back on track, and now he's picked up a world title belt. Well, previously he's defended it here, and we'll see where he goes. Maybe he'll do the Golovkin fight, although it's unlikely, innit, given the fact that he's on Showtime and Golovkin's a HBO guy with a different promoter and whatnot. Maybe he'll get the winner of Billy Joe Saunders against Andy Lee, or Eubank versus Spike O'Sullivan. I don't know. Let me know where you see both fighters going from here. What did you think of the stoppage? What did you think of Danny Jacobs' performance? Who would you like to see both fighters fight next? It's your boy Hatman. Drop them in the comment section below. I'm out.